Actually, this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. When I was growing up, one of the magicians that I used to love the most was the great Harry Houdini. I'm sure that you've all heard of Harry Houdini. Houdini, for those of you who don't know, made his reputation as an escape artist. He made his reputation as a man who could not be held by chains, a man who could not be held by ropes, a man who could not be held by boxes or cans or anything like that. A lot of times in his act, he would use his own props. He would use his own special tanks and water tanks and chains and things of that nature.
That's my boy.
That child's been drinking. But a lot of times he would allow the public to create boxes and different things to try and get him to escape from. And he made his reputation from being able to escape from anything at all. He was a man that lived his life in conflict. He lived his life doing challenges. He would always challenge the public to try and keep him down and do different things, and he was always able to rise to the occasion. One of the reasons I really admire Harry Houdini is because he was a man that wouldn't take no for an answer. He was a man that knew what he wanted for, and he would go for it every time. Now in 1905, he almost met his match. He went to an insane asylum in France, and he came across one of these. This is a regulation straitjacket. Now for this next demonstration, I'm going to need a gentleman to help me out, someone who isn't afraid of a little work. The one waving your hand, I can't see that far back, but feel free to join us up on stage. Go ahead and give him a big round of applause. That's the shortest round of applause ever. All right. Travis, it's you again. Nice to see you. What I'd like for you to do is take a look at this straitjacket. Examine every inch of it. Make sure there's nothing funny about it. I'm going to switch microphones so that when I put the straitjacket on, it doesn't sound like that.
Did you stitch this yourself? Or?
Yes. Years of stitching and sewing skills.
Right, we're good.
Now actually, this is a regulation straitjacket. If you take a close look, you can see it's actually made of canvas. It's double layer canvas, and it's reinforced with leather. Now I'll share something with the audience. This is something that you may not know. A lot of times you've probably seen magicians escape from straitjackets in the past. What you may not have realized is that for many magicians they use a gimmicked straitjacket. It's a straitjacket that's specifically designed for magicians. The way that those straitjackets work is that this strap right here is a gimmick. The way that it works is it's not actually bolted or sewn down to the arm at all. It's actually allowed to slide freely. In doing so, they can pretend to make it really tight, but when they let go of the ring inside their sleeve, it'll actually slide out and give them a tremendous amount of slack. I want you to go ahead and pull on that. Make sure that's not the case with our straitjacket today. You can feel free to do the same thing over here. In fact, why don't you go ahead and reach inside and feel and make sure there's no...
Am I going into this?
No, you're not. Travis, that suits you very well. Any rings or anything different inside there? Perfect. Now the great Harry Houdini, he came across this the first time in 1905. He went to an asylum and he saw, the criminally insane trying to escape from it. And it was at that point that he realized the genius of this mechanism. The straitjacket is a brilliant design. They used it on the criminally insane to keep them from hurting themselves and from hurting other people. Nowadays, it's considered to be cruel and unusual punishment, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But you can understand that back in the day, it would have been much better for people than handcuffs or chains or something like that, where they could hurt themselves or other people. Is this still on? I don't think that was me. Okay. So we'll go ahead and begin, and we'll go ahead and slip these sleeves on here. All right. Now what I'd like to do, I'm going to turn around this way, and I'd like you to go ahead and buckle up my back.
This is going to get tight.
Yes, it will. Oh, goodness. Get tight already. Go ahead and start at the top and work your way down to the bottom. Yes. sleeve is coming up there. Now the interesting thing about the straitjacket, go ahead and pull it as tight as you can. Don't give me any room to work.
That's on the last.
You're doing a great job. I appreciate your enthusiasm there. Now the straitjacket is actually a brilliant design, and the reason that it's a brilliant design is because the more you struggle, the tighter it gets. When they designed the straitjacket, they actually designed it to use your strength and your power against you. Of course, we don't have to worry about that very much with me. But in any event, how's it going back there?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's going very good. Okay. Have you ever done this before?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Being up on stage, I mean. No, if you put somebody in a straitjacket before, I don't think I want to know about it.
All right, now what?
All right, tight all the way? All right.
On those 4 ones.
On those all in the back. Now I'll turn around so the audience can see. He's done a pretty good job tightening those all along my back. Now, here comes the cruel and unusual part.
Oh. It's dirty.
Don't look so excited. Now, Travis, what I want you to do is reach through.
Okay.
Go ahead. Now, wait a minute. Wait. Before we do this, I have to ask you to be a gentleman. Let me first explain what this is for, okay? This is not an instrument of torture. It's not designed to get a cheap laugh. Although it seems to be doing that pretty well. This is designed for one thing and one thing only. It's designed to make sure that I can't pull the straitjacket over my shoulder. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So this one doesn't have to be very tight at all. That's tight enough. That's yeah. Oh,
That's good.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm great. All right. Now we'll go ahead and do the arms here. I'm going to go ahead and let you get this one on this side, get this one on this side, and go ahead and pull them as tight as you can. This is the part that gets really tight. When he does this correctly, I won't be able to breathe very well, and I'm going to try and let him get all the slack out. Yeah, just go ahead and go through the loop. You can push on my back if you want to make it as tight as possible. There you go. You got the idea. You can get it. You can get it any tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, thanks for your enthusiasm.
Okay, this will be as tight. Well, we'll go.
It's more fun listening to him than listening to myself all night. All right, you got it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. You can go ahead and have a seat again. Ladies and gentlemen, since I can't applaud for him right now, please give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Travis. You did an amazing job. If I need you to get me out, I'll call you back here in a few minutes. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. All right, so now I'll show you how the great Harry Houdini used to perform his escape. Now, when Houdini performed this in his day, he used to actually perform it in a cabinet or a closed area. That way the audience couldn't see how to escape from a straitjacket. He thought that that might be a little bit dangerous, which, since we don't use them anymore, I'm not too afraid of you guys figuring out how it works. So I'm going to demonstrate for you exactly how he would do it. Now, let me catch my breath here. It's hard to breathe. The first thing that he would do is he would look for 6 areas where he could potentially gain slack. This is to see if the person who tied him up did a very good job. So the first place is the left shoulder. We're going to see if I can get any slack out of my left shoulder here. Travis, it looks like you did a pretty good job. All right. The next space is the elbow, the left elbow. The strap between my legs is preventing me from moving too quickly, so bear with me if this takes a moment. It's not supposed to be that funny back there. And the third place is the left wrist. See if I can obtain any slack. Okay. Now we go to the right side. Start with the right shoulder. We can cue the music too. And we'll go to the right elbow. And the right wrist. Okay, well, looks like Travis did a really, really good job. Thank you very much, Travis. Now we'll move on to what's called Plan B. Plan B is I'm going to attempt to get my left arm up and over my head. Now they say that Houdini used to dislocate both of his shoulders in order to accomplish this. I found that that's not necessary, because the same thing can be accomplished with gradual movement. All right, that's the first part. Now, the next step, to see if I can get my arm out. It's all about the leverage. Usually I would hope that there'd be someone in the front audience, that way if I lose my balance, it'd be like a mosh pit. I guess I'm on my own tonight. Well, he's got it pretty tight. Might have to move on to Plan C. You like that, did you? Let's do it again. All right. Is how Houdini performed his famous straitjacket escape.